Ontario PC पार्टी के लीडर टिम हुडक जिन्होंने करंटली ऐसे वीक अपना एक दौरा किया टूर किया मिसिसागा का जिदे च पहला तो वो डिक्सी गुरु घर गए ontario खालसा दरबार उसके बाद उन्होंने एक लोकल फैक्ट्री का दौरा किया असी उस इवेंट को कवर किया ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਆਨਸਰ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਵੀ ਰਿਕਾਰਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਿਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਬੜੀ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜੌਨ ਬੇਅਰਡ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫੋਰਨ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਨੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਰੀਸੈਂਟ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਬਿਆਨ ਨੂੰ ਡਾਊਨ ਪਲੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਿਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਕਸਟ੍ਰੀਮਿਸਟ ਕਿਹਾ ਔਰ ਬਾਅਦ 'ਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਲੈਰੀਫਾਈ ਵੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਇਹ ਮਤਲਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਬਹਰਹਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ क्लिप देखो तो आप ही फैसला करो कि वैदर सानू स्ट्रेट आंसर्स मिले या नहीं मिले.
So, and do you live close by or?
Yeah, I live in Mississauga.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah. See, small world.
Yeah.
12 million Ontarians we run into once in a while. So you keep doing good work, eh? Thanks for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Take care.
So when we receive the raw material will come and put something so this is the banding here.
Yeah.
Any material has to be banded. It can be banded.
Yeah. Big machine.
Right? Yeah.
Well, tell me what you're doing here, sir.
This is basically a cafeteria where we prepare all the recipes for the event
Oh, there you go. Good. Good. Wow. What competitive industry you're in?
It is.
Part of the challenges in China.
Science,
Mexico.
everything.
We are ISO certified. So that's like we have to go
Yeah, thank you for what you're doing. Looking forward to it.
So these are the prototypes for which model is that? This is for starting
Okay, yeah.
So this we are making designing. This is for which part is that one? Hood inner? This is for hood. Yeah, for the car hood.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
this
sure.
is for that.
This guy is pretty sturdy. Great.
So when your part is there, how many parts will be for this? 20 parts will be. And when the part is started running the installation, we did lots of programs from the Canada.
Good contract to have, yeah.
Yeah. So this is for that prototype is happening. They will come for that.
Good. And that's Jima Nalashwa?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this one is for the door.
Pardon me?
The door.
Oh, there's one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the door inside.
Yeah.
So we would design. Oh wow.
Did you have to open each one?
Outer part, another show that something is part of that. This is already back for the yeah. Whatever we are doing, always
Yeah.
this is like a short contract. Yes. It was 9 hours after.
Our biggest order will be like 3 months forward.
Okay. And then always.
Very competitive. It's not easy.
Yeah.
So this is for another prototyping. This is for
Yeah.
this is compacted up. Okay. Yeah, DMS cycle.
Not easy. You gotta do this all the time. All the changes, eh?
Yeah.
How long will those things last for?
Oh, they will go for 5-10 years.
Here, depend when they're like. This is our painting here.
Yeah. We paint some things? I still like to paint something, but I understand there are rules in place. And this man's name was?
Andy.
Andy? How long has he been here?
He's about 7-8 years.
Andy, how long have you been here?
Almost 3 years. Or
Oh, so you got some history. Yeah. How you enjoy working here? Good. Just saying, it's a competitive business, so auto parts, and there's been a downturn and trying to keep the jobs here in Ontario. Right? Good job, it's hard to find out there. So
He's very good in painting.
good. You know what you're doing, eh? Yeah. So you can suit up Pam and I sometime, and we'll paint some parts. Yeah? How long will it take us to do something? It'll wreck the place.
Depends on how good you take the training.
I don't know, man.
I'll cover myself out
Yeah.
to show. I know that one.
If you want to take off your goggles, we'll scrub it.
Yeah, sure. You may have. I just want to thank Neer and Pradeep very much for having Pam Hundal and I by today at Master Manufacturing. I want to thank you for the jobs that you create, the money you put on the table for families here. It's a pretty tough job market. It's hard to find a good job today in Peel Region in the province. So first I want to thank Neer and Pradeep for employing up to 50 to 60 people here in Ontario. I just want to see more of it. And I want to see our businesses succeed so we can boom again. We can put Ontario back to work and get even more people working in good jobs. So thank you for the investments that you're making. Very competitive marketplace out there, especially in the auto parts sector. Competing against the American states, Mexico, China, India, it's increasingly competitive. And the sad thing is we're seeing higher and higher costs of doing business in Ontario. Higher taxes, energy rates are going through the roof, more and more red tape slowing you down. We need to change an attitude in government that says we want to get behind business, help them create jobs, to get out of their way, to actually lower the cost of doing business so they have confidence to hire again and to win more contracts from GM or Chrysler or Honda, Toyota or Ford. And there's one thing in particular I wanted to address today is while Neer and Pradeep here at Master Manufacturing have made some difficult decisions to rein in their costs, to get spending under control, we're not seeing that in government. Sadly, the provincial government has become more and more expensive, and we've seen our costs of providing government services go up by about $40 billion. We can't afford it, and we've seen pay and benefits in the public sector that are way beyond what's happening in the private sector, and that's not sustainable. Today I held a press conference in Queen's Park to introduce a new piece of legislation. It's called the Ability to Pay Act. It basically says that we need to fix a broken system where we're paying more and more into government workers beyond what's happening for other families in the private sector or those on fixed incomes. For example, we saw in Stratford, firefighters get a 20% wage increase. Now, I respect what our firefighters do. They're highly skilled. They put their lives on the line for each and every day. But who in Brampton and Peel got a 20% wage increase last year? It's just not sustainable. So our Ability to Pay Act is going to fix a broken arbitration system. When arbitrators are called in to settle contracts for government workers, we're going to force them to reflect what's happening with hardworking families across the province. What's affordable to businesses, to taxpayers who have to pay those bills. And instead of seeing some of these arbitration agreements take 5 or 6 years, we'll make sure they're done in 3 months. So municipalities will have predictability on costs, and it's fair to the union leaders and workers because then they know when their contract is done, they'll get another one relatively soon. And third, and finally, we're going to set up an Ability to Pay division in the Ministry of Finance to inform these arbitrators that act as judges about what the cost of living increases are, how much private sector pay has gone up or down or if it's stayed the same, what the local unemployment rate is. Basically, when you're signing these contracts with the public sector unions, pay and benefits have to reflect the ability of taxpayers to pay those bills. For the last 9 years, the McGuinty government has looked the other way. It's time to bring change, to rein in spending, so we don't put a bigger and deeper debt on the backs of our businesses. I want to see them higher again, but the bigger the deficit hole, the harder that's going to be. And to answer Neer's question, so the bill will be debated on October the 4th, and we will need support from Liberal NDP members to make it pass. But I think if they're listening to the taxpayers who pay these bills, it's a fair it's a reasonable approach, and I hope we'll get their support. Thanks. Any questions?
Yeah, the question is basically, it seems like you have a good plan, but Ontarians not going, buying your plan. By-elections, your party held that seat for almost 2.5 decades. All of a sudden, under your leadership, they lost it.
You know what? The more people
And you accuse the unionist leaders for that.
the more people hear about our plan, the more they like it. And that's an important part of my job as leader of the opposition, not only to do our work at Queen's Park, but to travel across the province, to be back in Peel, to be in Northern Ontario, to be in Niagara, to be in Ottawa, to talk about our plan, because the more people hear about it, a plan to get our economy moving, to create jobs, and make sure we stop the overspending, the more they like it.
Well, your political report card doesn't reflect your policy.
Well, I disagree. I mean, we had the biggest increase in PC votes and members in the last campaign, but I want to do better. And in fact, if we really want to bring the changes that we want to see to make Ontario the best place for businesses to start up, to hire again, we need to change the government. For the time being, I'm putting our ideas on the table. Hopefully they'll take them up. If not, I hope to have Pam Hundal as part of a PC government to make it all happen.
Is NDP a threat to you?
The concerns I have, you're seeing two distinct versions of where this province should go. The PC vision will focus on helping businesses succeed, to hire again, and shrinking the size and cost of government, making sure the public sector pay and benefits reflect the ability of average taxpayers to pay for them. The NDP and Liberals seem to be on the other side. They believe in bigger government. They believe in hiring more people on the government payroll. I just don't think you can get blood from a stone. Taxpayers can't afford it anymore. And quite frankly, we're the only party that's going to say no to the special interests, no to the union bosses, and say yes to creating jobs in our province again.
Last question is about your cousins in Ottawa. Recently, the foreign minister labeled the Sikh community as a terrorist in Canada. Extremism is on rise, and he thinks he's going to be able to curb it. Your comment, you're trying to lead the province where Sikh community is living in huge numbers, and obviously the community is very, very disturbed by the comments made by John Baird.
Well, I can have Pam as a local candidate speak a bit more to this, but we were at a Gurdwara just before coming here to this business today to talk to the council leaders, and we talked about the importance of freedom of religion in Ontario and Canada. That is a great value to worship free of persecution, to threat of violence. I mean, our hearts were all ripped apart when we saw what happened in Wisconsin, and we need to make sure that we protect the right to worship as you see fit in this great country of Canada.
You believe that John Baird's comments basically fans the hate against the community in Canada?
No, I'll have Pam speak to this. I think John was talking about a very, very small group of people. The folks that I know that I met at the Gurdwara today were very much in the same theme, that a strength in our province is the freedom to worship as you see fit, the freedom of religion, the freedom to start a business, the freedom to go to school, to live where you want in the province. These are great freedoms. And I think Mr. Baird is talking about that very, very small minority that don't agree with those policies. Do you want to add to that?
I just want to say, as a Sikh, that I'm so proud to be part of the PC Party of Ontario. I know the work that we're doing behind the scenes to help promote equality and fairness for everyone. I've sat with the Deputy Leader, Christine Elliott, to discuss some of the challenges that our community, as a Sikh community, faces on a day-to-day basis, and we're working to overcome those challenges. So this is something that, I feel as a PC candidate, as part of the PC Party, I'm proud as a woman, as a Sikh woman, with parents who are immigrants here, to stand with a party who stands close to our community.
But do you believe there's a segment of community that the minister should be concerned about?
I think in every community, every cultural background.
Well, the Sikh community in particular we're talking about.
I can't really comment on what he said or, who he consulted when he said that. I know the party I stand for, what we believe in, and we do believe in equality and fairness for everyone. And that's why I'm proud to be part of this provincial PC party.
Sure. I will say for human beings, we will say all human beings are one, and we should respect each other. To answer your question, if you respect all human beings, there is no, everybody is one. And we all should be supported, as a unity will come when we are all together, work as a one human being.
Mm-hmm. Your quick comments on the movie, which we all know about, against the Muslim faith and the Muslim religion. Where does your party stand on it?
Well, this is something that took place, in California and the States. I think we're all very concerned about the repercussions that we're seeing. I think an important tenet that's attracted families to live here in Ontario is one of tolerance of faith. It's one of tolerance of race. It's that, you know, if we build on our strengths, we've created one of the best places in our province, here in Peel and in our country of Canada, with the great province of Ontario. What do we do going forward? I think that, you know, we need to make sure our community stays strong. What I worry about is that we've lost touch with what has made Ontario the great place it is, a strong private sector economy that's growing, that our education and healthcare systems are under threat if we don't get our spending under control. So we have a great province here. It's attractive from all across the world, but it's all at risk if we don't actually get our fiscal house in order and focus on creating jobs again.